And there's a figure that tells what those mean somewhere in here, figure 15. So there's a light on, I believe, that side there that will flash. Depending on what the flash sequence is, it means different things. I believe 15 tells you what it means, figure 15. The tool is equipped with a microprocessor which shuts the motor off automatically after a crimp is completed. Let's see. It indicates service intervals, low battery conditions, performs internal checks, sending out audible sounds, optical warnings. So, the crimping head can be rotated 330 degrees. So, operation 3.1 on page 5. Depending on the size and type of wires encountered, the operator will use one of the two splices sizes, along with the corresponding dice set in the tool. So you're going to use red or blue. Determine the correct splice and dice set for the application. Refer to figure 3 to find the correct size combination and composition of the wires encountered. Then determine the correct splice is shown in figure 4. So figure 4, if you look at over here, you have the chart, okay? So the very first top line here, going across from right to left. Okay? So the chart works from right to left, okay? So if you look at the first example, the very first line is one 12 gauge aluminum wire and one 12 gauge copper wire. So if you look at the box right here, this big box here, that would be a red. That makes sense how that works? The very next line would be two 12 gauge aluminum, still a red. You understand how that works, everybody?
Yeah. Hold up.
If you look here, you go from here over.
Mm-hmm.
So the very first top line would be a 12 aluminum, 12 copper is red.
Right.
Next line is two 12 aluminum is a red. Okay, the last red you'll do in this chart, in this box here, would be two 12s aluminum and one 14 copper, still red. Then the box down below, these are all the blues. So the very first blue line would be two 10 aluminums and one 12 copper is a blue.
Okay, gotcha.
So from left to right, they go across. Okay, if you can't find what you need to crimp in this chart, then you might need to do what's called a piggyback crimp, and we'll do that in the next page. But then you're basically doing this kind of thing, where you're doing everything to a blue and jumping out to a red, and then going to your device. So you only squeeze up to 5 12 aluminums, or 4 12 aluminums and 1 14 copper. So you can fit up to 5 wires in there, depending on what the composition and combination of the wire is. It's important to pay attention to the aluminum and copper, because just because you can fit, you can fit two 12 aluminums, it doesn't always mean that aluminum and copper are equal.
Right.
If you look at the chart carefully, you might see something that you might think, okay, well, I'm going to use, I'm doing 12 aluminum, 12 copper, I'm just going to use the 12 side. It doesn't work like that, because there's different pressures involved for squeezing copper and aluminum. Now, our company figured out that when you squeeze up to a certain amount, you're going to reduce that area. In our world, everything has what's called the CMA, circular mill area.
Mm-hmm.
All that is a measurement. Okay, so we know the CMA of this wire, the CMA of this wire,
right,
which is the measurement of the wire. Okay, we know the CMA of this crimp, and so we know that when we crimp something and it's reduced to a certain value, that you're going to get a good crimp. Okay, it won't burn up or be loose. So we calculate. That's why this is important. We calculate this all for you. So if you use the wrong chart, you might eventually have a crimp in the field get hot, it might heat up, and it may fail on you eventually. So you got to follow the chart and use what we say. You just can't say, okay, I got a blue, I'm only going to put 2 wires in there. It's going to be too much space in there, and it's not going to fully crimp and compress everything as it should. Okay.
So like I see right here, it says some of them said 5, like 2 of them.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's the limit right there.
Yeah. Well, on the blue, 5 12s is the limit. Also, you can fit 412 aluminum and 114 copper. That's also a limit. So, but it depends on what line you're on. So it's just important to go across and see what color you're doing. That's the most crucial thing to make sure that you understand that these are right